Hello, welcome back to Talk Seagulls, and we're here in the Caxton Arms for the final podcast, believe it or not, of the year, which feels a bit mad, to be honest. I mean, I say that, but I feel quite glad that we are finally at the end of the year because it's been a bit of an up and down one. But we're in different settings. We've still got the Christmas tree up, which, contrary to my friend next to me, Ethan, today, or Noz, I'm going to call you Noz, and I.
Call me Noz, yeah. Noz is fine.
Call you Noz off camera.
Won't get called, yeah.
You're going to be called Noz.
Yeah.
Mate, the Christmas tree's down already in your house, so you can still enjoy it here a little bit.
I can enjoy it here. Mum's taken the Christmas tree down already. It's not great, but as long as I've still got it here, still got the Christmas spirit.
Yeah. How are you, mate? It's for first time ever, really, isn't it?
Yeah, first time on a podcast here. Yeah, look forward to it. I'm not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, mate. I say I'm good, apart from watching Brighton play most of the time. But it's been a bit of a weird season so far. But it's good to have you on. It's good to have a new face.
Yeah.
And is this? You say it's your first ever podcast?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say the first one. Yeah.
You did.
Well, can't really count another one.
What did you do? What was the other one?
It was like it was in COVID, and it was more of one. My mate was trying to do a little project. And he thought, "Do you want to just jump on?" We were talking about English centre-backs, I think, to go to the 2020 Euros.
Oh,
and that was about it.
I remember that debate was so hot back then.
It was.
With Brighton fans.
Yeah,
like passionate for Lewis Dunk.
Everyone thought Lewis Dunk's got to be in there. And that's what we were talking about for about an hour.
Yeah. I remember saying that he's England's best centre-back back then.
Yeah, I do remember saying that. And I was one of them, and I stuck with my word there because I thought he's definitely up there.
Do you remember the time it was like the Lewis Dunk test?
Yeah.
Centre-backs failed the Lewis Dunk test.
Yeah.
I think Tyrone Mings was one of them.
Yeah, I used to love that. That was a good little, good little phrase I used to ping about.
No, it was funny. Weird times.
Weird.
But I prefer these podcasts in real life.
Yeah.
It's a bit more personal.
Yeah, a bit more
A
personal.
bit more personality. More personality than could be said, I think, in the game yesterday or the day before now, which was against Arsenal, that defeat. I don't want to go like as a full match review because I've kind of thought I want this to be like a 2025 review instead.
Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
But it would be rude not to mention some of that game. Obviously not the best again. I think the first sort of 60 minutes or so was pretty poor from us, but we had our 10 minutes again.
Yeah, we did. We always seem to just, have our little 10 minutes, but I don't think we really start until we then go down. We either go 1-0 down and then they think maybe we should start playing. That's the only problem. Like we nearly went 2-0 at one point. Well, we've gone 2-1 and then we thought we'll actually go for it now, and then we nearly went 2-0.
What do you put that down to? This whole it's been a bit of a trend. We'll talk about 2025. I think there's definitely a trend in the sort of 2-0 down sort of thing, or even 2-0 up we've thrown games away from. It's really weird. We've got like this almost hot and cold complete like opposite where we can go from being one way to another so quickly. And that's happened again to an extent. I know we didn't actually do it, but it's almost like it took us 70 minutes, 65 minutes for us to actually take the game seriously. Yeah,
we seem to do that a lot. You've got a load of games this year that I'd say we've done that in. For example, West Ham, we didn't really turn up till the last 5 minutes, I say. We had 4 shots on target. We didn't have a shot on target since the 89th. As soon as we had then we started turning it on. I think we only really turn it on when, the crowd's getting on your back. You need to actually show that you're doing something. There's plenty of games where we haven't done it. And once again, we did it again. Yeah.
We've done it from, as I say, leading positions as well. I think last season we were one of the top for points dropped from leading positions. I think this season we were until like kind of recently. We've not really been in leading positions as much. We've kind of been more on the other side and fighting back for results.
Exactly,
but I think the last one was Aston Villa where we were 2-0 up and then we threw it away 4-2. And that was a bit of a trend. Remember, it was like we were scared of being 2-0 up.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It's a weird one because for me, like I watched that Arsenal game and we were both there. I saw you in the concourse. Honestly, I see him at every single away day for the last, I reckon, 4 or 5 years, non-stop. Like
that's the thing though. When you love the club, you go every week. You go home and away. You want what's best for the club. You always go to it. It doesn't matter the result. You're always there. Yeah. Same as you. I see you there nearly every week. So might as well. Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Actually, before I speak about Arsenal, the away days thing. Yeah. You kind of, it is just about the whole weekend and stuff. And don't get me wrong, you don't constantly just think of the result. There's been a lot of times we've had brilliant weekends, but actually the game has been the worst part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you kind of just discount it because that's not what it's about. That's not the point of being a fan. But equally, like as you say, as a fan, you want the best for the club.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I for this year of away days, we haven't probably been treated to quite as much drama and craziness. And
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was under Potter, we went so long unbeaten away. Yeah. We've probably not had quite as much fun away from home, but we've still had, that away days feeling, I guess. But it's definitely lacking. You're missing that feeling of knowing you're going to get something.
Yeah, because we had that period when, was it 2021, 2022? We had about 5 away games where we scored 90 plus 2.
Yeah.
And you just knew that when you were going to a game, you thought we could, snatch another one there, but we were always behind again.
Yeah.
So we were always thinking, maybe you might get another little equaliser. But I didn't think we were going to get that on Saturday. And that was one of the problems that I think we have now, where I just didn't think we were going to get it.
Yeah. To be fair to Arsenal, it was good game management.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from the dive in, which I thought was ridiculous. The cheating from Raya was driving me crazy, right?
Yeah.
And fair enough. But other than that bit, they were fantastic at killing the game off. They really were mature. And I think that was where I saw a complete golfing quality, not just sort of on the ball, but off it. They just knew what to do. They knew how to frustrate us. And I think once they could tell they were frustrating us, they already had us in their pocket. And I think, we had that push, didn't we, for that sort of 10 minutes or so where there was a chance. I think if Kadioglu shoots in that situation, it's a different story. Yeah, why he tried to put that back across the box, I don't know.
Really don't know.
Yeah.
Only you could tell us that.
Yeah, Ferdy on the pod next week. But I do rate Ferdy this year. I think he's been one of our better players.
I would say that as well.
Yeah.
I'd say him and Verbruggen.
Yeah.
I'd say have been our best two.
I think Minte was up there for a bit.
Yeah, I would have put him up there for the first, bit of the season, and then he started trying to play him out of position. And then I think it didn't help that we were relying on him more because Matoma was out. So when you're playing a left winger that, for example, Diego Gomez or De Kuyper, they're not left wingers.
Yeah.
So when we're going through them, they haven't really got the kind of ability and quality that Matoma had. And when we've had Matoma the past few years, we go through him a lot.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really take, it takes the pressure off Minter, but now the pressure's kind of on him. It's harder. It's been harder. It's a lot harder for him, is what I'd say.
I think you can see that actually when he came on against Arsenal.
Definitely, yeah.
But all of a sudden he is like our system, effectively. As you say, like
definitely.
The last couple of months, I'd say, since when did Matoma get injured? Like September?
It was Chelsea away.
Yeah, Chelsea,
September.
So he's been out for quite a while now. So we've had to sort of mitigate that. As you say, De Kuyper's nowhere near the level of Mitoma going forward. I think he is a good box crasher, if you like. I think he's good at being in the box. He's got a decent finish on him, to be fair. But I think his actual overall game is nowhere near the level of Mitoma, and I don't expect it to be, because Mitoma is a world-class talent. But as you say, that Minte thing, I think that, you definitely notice a bit of pressure on him now. I think it's quite easy to double, triple up on him. People allowing him a little bit more space so he doesn't run in behind. So he's not quite allowed the joy that he was in the first few months. But what kind of annoys me is a lot of people get on Minte's back, I feel like. And I just find it a bit weird. Like, I think this happened with Mitoma for a bit when we lost Solly.
Yeah, definitely.
And it just frustrates me when I look at the team and it's like, but people can slate those players, but then there's certain other players and tactics that people don't want to slate. I just always find it weird how that works.
Yeah, I find that as well, because you've got, the main thing I have with Minter at the moment is I think he's too, one-footed, that people now know what he's going to do. So I feel like people get more frustrated because he's trying to do the same thing every time and they're reading him. So I think that's why they're getting a bit frustrated, because I was speaking to someone about it and they were saying he's very one-dimensional. And that's why I feel like they try to put him on the left side. I think it was like November time.
Yeah, it was that Chelsea game, I think. Because he got the assist for Welbeck.
He did, yeah. That great ball in. So, he had that. And then I feel like he is one-dimensional now.
Yeah.
Which is the only problem I really have with him. I like him. Very good player. He has been one of our better players this season. But I just feel like the pressure was really on him. It has been. Hopefully now he'll, we could play a little bit better when we've got Matoma on the left and Minter on the right, because I think that is probably our best wingers. Yeah,
no, I agree. I think, I mentioned it before, but when you lost Solly in that period when he'd done his ACL, the Mitoma and Solly partnership that we had for a period of time was so lethal, and they got so many goals and assists out of the two of them. And the difference it makes having two wingers on the pitch. It sounds ridiculous, sounds obvious, but like, it just, especially when they're at the level that those two can be. We saw it, I think it was against Chelsea earlier in the year when, well, actually both times, to be honest, they both tormented them, didn't they, in separate different games. Mitoma got a brace. Oh, no, Minte got a brace.
Yeah, Minter got the brace and Mitoma scored that goal where Verbruggen passed it to him. Yeah.
And then that week, twice in the week, ole, that was
Unreal.
unbelievable. But a big part of that was down to those two.
It was, massive part because they couldn't handle him.
No.
And it was good. It was against Cucurella as well, which great watch.
Always feels better, doesn't it?
Yeah, always feels so much better, especially beating Chelsea. It always feels amazing.
Yeah, of course it does. But then, there's that period of the year where I look back in February time and I thought we're in a good moment. I thought we were winning a lot of games, maybe against the run of play at times. I think that Bournemouth game where we won that game, which I didn't think we particularly deserved to win, but we did. And I think, it's that last goal from Welbeck, which was that took ages to sort of P-roll in on the post. The beginning of the year, there was probably a bit of a different feel apart from a certain game which comes instantly to mind in the beginning of the year, which we'll come on to the bad moments in a minute. But we had that game run, didn't we? Of it was five wins in a row or 5
wins,
unbeaten?
I think 5 or 6. I think it was 6 unbeaten because then we drew to Man City.
That was it.
Yeah.
And that was a good moment. I'm looking back on the positives as well as the negatives, and I felt good then. And I do think a big part of that was down to having a bit more balance probably in the squad.
Definitely,
I think when I look at the squad from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, we had João Pedro, who I think's been given so much disrespect since he's left.
100%.
I think he was such a fantastic player, and I think he helped get the best out of Mitoma. And Georgie as well, who's had a pretty poor season.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I do agree. I would say that, he hasn't really, got the goal contributions to show for it. He scored that goal against West Ham and then obviously he's put one in the wrong net on Saturday. Which ain't great. But I just think that him and João Pedro played really well together, which I think he really bounced off. And now he hasn't got that. It's not the same with Welbeck, even though they've been good when they played together, but I just don't think it's the same. I think that's why he struggled so much.
Yeah. What do you think the difference is between Welbeck and Pedro?
Welbeck and Pedro. Well, Welbeck's he's a poacher. Is what he is. I think Pedro is one of them players where you play in the 10. Well, Welbeck's obviously the 9. But you play Pedro in the 10. We've seen that last year when we played him in the 10. He was good. He was one of our best players last year. That's what I'd say anyway. Some people may, not agree with it, but I'd say he was one of our most beneficial players last year. We had them games where you'd know that he'd pull something out the bag. You know what I mean? It was one of the, even in the first season when we had him, in the Europe season, you just knew he was going to come up with something. That's what I think. I think they're both very different players. And obviously Welbeck's been unbelievable this season, really, hasn't he? Let's be honest. He's been unreal. But I think Jorginho has struggled a lot because he hasn't had Pedro with him.
I think a big part of it is Welbeck's running is good, but it's not the same as Pedro's in terms of distance covered, I think.
Yeah, and that brings me on to Newcastle away, where, do you remember when Pedro ran his absolute socks off all game? Just don't feel like we've got anyone who would do that this year.
Minte is probably the only one.
Yeah, that's the only one I'd say. You can tell he runs his socks off.
Minte runs everywhere.
Like that Chelsea game. I don't know if you remember the video. You can see where he's just running, 95th minute, he's just running in.
That was mad.
And then because of his press, we then scored the goal.
Yeah. And that's when Hurst's ball works, it actually looks all right.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
That high press is kind of what it's all about, and it looks good. And, when you've got players like Minte, it works. I think that the trouble is you probably don't have that balance across the squad, and that's why I raised the point over Pedro was. I think this season we've noticed a big kind of drop off in terms of individual talent. I think, one of them is unfortunate for us in Mitoma, but then again, you probably want to plan for that with the squad planning and buying another left winger. I'm not saying Adingra was a world class player for us, but you lose Adingra, you lose Mitoma at any time. You then expect a lot of De Kuyper or Tommy Watson, who we've not really seen a great deal of.
Yeah,
I don't think we've really had much help in terms of that. So that's one thing I will empathise with is the squad planning has been somewhat poor, I'd say. I think
I'd agree, I'd agree with you.
The recruitment's been questionable, I think, in terms of where we're kind of weak on is very weak, and that's reflected, I think, in a lot of games where, as you say, Minte on one side, triple up on him, no Mitoma, no worries,
Exactly.
And it's become quite easy to work out, probably. But then I will mention the bad moment of the 2025 beginning of the year.
I think we all know what it is, don't we?
7-0. If a Forest fan is somehow watching this and you got what you wanted to hear out of a season review, then or a year review, should I say? It's got to be mentioned, isn't it? 7-0. It's one of the most painfully iconic games of all time.
Yeah, I'd say it's one of our lowest moments in the Premier League. Definitely, I think it's got to be up there. Has to be up there. One of our lowest
moments. It's the worst scoreline, isn't it?
Awful. Yeah, but I think that's what happens when you play a sort of team like that, where Hinchley would pivot on his own.
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
Against an aggressive Forest team as well.
That was when Forest were at their best. Obviously, they got Europe that season, didn't they? But they were very good.
Alanga, Gibbs White, they were so
Chris
lethal.
Wood,
Chris
just
Wood
up
as well.
there poaching.
Yeah, and he always wants to go against us anyway.
Scored a hat-trick.
Yeah. But that's it. Like, I think that's where then you look at the naivety probably. I mean, I remember a similar sort of game, but not quite on the scoreline level, was the Chelsea game last season when we lost 4-2.
Yeah,
Cole Palmer got 4 in the first half.
Yeah.
And again, that's a game where we've shipped a lot of goals and in stupid fashion. And you've kind of gone, how did that happen? Well, we played a high line with Adam Webster and Lewis Dunk, who are not blessed pace, against Cole Palmer and whoever else they had at the time. I can't even remember the full team now, but it was ridiculous. It was one of the most ridiculous games I've ever seen. I remember turning to the lad next to me and just going, has he got all 4? He went, yeah. So, oh my God. Yeah, it was poor.
It was ridiculous how he even went across that, how he got 4 in one half. To be fair, we scored 2 in that half as well.
We did,
6 goals in the first half.
Was it Belaber?
Yeah, Belaber scored the second, and then Jorginho got his first goal for us.
Georgie's first goal, he nearly got a head injury in the process, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Sanchez nearly done him.
Yeah, Sanchez got a hard time.
Mistake for both goals.
Yeah. Chelsea got a hard time. Sanchez got a hard time at Chelsea away, always does.
Yeah.
But that's one of them. Again, I look back on them couple of games, I'm like, there's some things there where I think they're so obvious, and I feel like those 2 games are kind of fairly apart from each other as well. I feel like technically the Chelsea game was actually last year.
It was,
but it's kind of in the same season. So
definitely.
Looking as a trend sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that Forest game, mate, oh my God.
Well, it weren't one to be happy with, what was it, 3-0 in 30 minutes?
Yeah.
It's not what you want, is it?
It's not a great start, is it?
For a 12:30 kickoff, you get up well early, ready for the day, and you're 3-0 down in 30 minutes.
Oh, mate, it was a 12:30, wasn't it?
12:30.
I'm so glad I stayed up the night before.
I remember leaving at 6:15 in the morning, that was. I had a 6:30 train up to London, ready for the day. And it was ruined like that.
Did I see you at that one? I can't remember.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
You did, yeah, because I saw you at half time and you went, this ain't great, is it? Not really, mate, no.
That wasn't great, mate.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that, actually. Yeah, because I remember someone saying that the only time they've ever met me was at Forest.
Yeah. Oh, not a great memory, is it?
I was like, brilliant. So you've seen me raging at half time.
Yeah, good
great
memory.
Yeah, it's a bit contrary to the actual Forest game, the end of this year. In fact, I will pull that up, actually. It's like a contrast, because I thought that's the last time we won in the league, believe it or not, at the time we're recording this, because we could beat West Ham, and we might as well mention it now. We could beat West Ham tomorrow night, but we also might not. So at the time of saying this, it was the last time we won. And that game, actually, I thought, it was Zima's first goal, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And I thought, that was actually a time where I was getting a little bit converted on the manager. I was thinking, that's different. Like, we've actually won that and actually played well for most of the game. Yeah. And I think up until the first half an hour of the following game against Villa, I was thinking, oh my God, maybe it's clicked.
Maybe it's clicked. Because November, I think we went unbeaten. Because we beat Leeds at the start, then we drew to Palace, and then we beat Brentford 2-1 with the last.
Yeah, that was a weird game. That was
very weird game. And then we beat Forest, and you think November, that's all right. We got 10 points in November. We thought could be on the up, and then I think December's got us back to reality, personally. But
it's been we never do well over festive period, do we?
I don't think we've won a game in December for 3 years.
Is that right?
I think so.
Do you remember who it was?
I think it was Tottenham when we beat them 4-2. I think it was the last time we beat someone in December.
Was that December?
Estepinian.
And we tried our best to throw that one away.
I know. We went 4-0 up and nearly bottled it.
I remember Son going for it 4-2 and thinking, oh my God, they're going to actually come back.
Could have. I think they had a disallowed goal as well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, this isn't a 2025 review. Yeah. We'll just go listing off random games. Now, but I think that has no relevance to these games. But the December's been actually quite good, to be fair.
Yeah.
In terms of November's actually been quite good in terms of the results. I thought we actually started clicking.
Yeah.
I thought there was a couple of games in there I was actually quite confident.
Yeah, I agree.
And that Forest game felt particularly satisfying in the sense of I felt like obviously they had a big portion of that second half.
Yeah, massive portion of it.
And I think they probably should have scored one or two, really. And part of the Bruggen's come on, I think, so
Once
much
again,
this season.
unbelievable this season. Definitely up there with, well, I'd say best player this season, along with, did you say earlier?
You said,
That was it,
Kadioglu. And I think his year in itself has been like complete polar opposite. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, earlier in the year, I was kind of looking at Bart, thinking, is he going to make it? Is he going to be one of them wonder kids that just stays as a FIFA wonder kid?
I know what you mean. Yeah,
but no. I think we're now seeing the Bart Verbruggen that the Dutch fans promised us when he first came over.
Yeah.
And, he was in the international team so young, and I remember a lot of Dutch fans messaging me at the time saying, "This kid, he is so good."
He's good.
And I was thinking, okay. And he has really, really stepped up. And I think that Forest game, he kept us in it. I remember United away a couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah, he did well in that game.
He stopped us from being well in that 6 or 7. Really,
could have been more.
Honest.
Definitely could have been.
And that Forest game, I said that last goal from Zimas, I thought that's satisfying.
Very satisfying, especially, Zimas scoring, and then he starts the next game and unfortunately ends his season, doesn't it? Which doesn't really sum it up too well. But
yeah, it's been a weird year.
Very weird.
Really weird year.
Yeah, very strange.
If you had to kind of look back on it all now, all the chaos, all the messages and the tweets and the discourse and stupid things that are said over the course of a year.
Happens.
I don't think that you can now say that when you look back on the year, it's reactionary.
Yeah.
So when you look back on the rest of the year, what do you see different from, say, January to December?
I'll be honest, I see a weakened team where I think we had a much stronger team in January, and now I feel like we've got a lot of a weaker team, if you know what I mean. But you can say that in the sense of, we may have a weaker team, but every other team is so much better as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you've in the league at the moment, what are we, 4 points behind Leeds? 3 points behind Leeds at the moment. And then if we win, we're up to 7th. That's how competitive the league is now. And I think that, it's been competitive for a long time in the Premier League, but I think this year it's so much more competitive where we should be, more... What's the word I'm trying to say? We should be better in the sense, and we should have prepared a lot more.
What do you put that down to? Club, manager?
You can
style?
do. The manager has, he has some say on the players that he wants, doesn't he? De Zerbi obviously didn't get the players he wanted, so he's gone. So we think Herzler probably has a choice in some of the players he wanted. But I'm, unsure on why he signed some of the players when some of them don't even start. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we've had a lot of questionable signings this year.
I'd say so, yeah.
That January transfer window that went before, was it Cashin come in?
Cashin come in, played one game against Villa and didn't play again, I'm pretty sure.
Diego Gomez has become a starter.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
So, he's...
But that's a January signing. The summer isn't the one where we've done too well, I don't say.
You think the summer transfer window was worse?
Yes. That's what I'd say, arguably. Because I think there was 1 or 2 games this season where none of the summer signings played.
Yeah.
At all. And you think, what's the point of, having all these in? Because in the summer, you're meant to be buying for the season and none of them are playing. It's kind of like, have we, bought players in the right areas? Which I don't think we have.
And I think as well, a big part of the summer transfer window getting such a low grade was actually who we let go of as well.
Yeah, definitely.
The kind of, and also the Baleba links towards the end of it has kind of set the season up with...
Yeah, it didn't help him, did it? It didn't help his confidence in the slightest. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what we've had this year is like... The Baleba thing doesn't help, don't get me wrong. And I think that, I said it earlier in the year, but if a club like United, let's remember Baleba is not a Brighton fan.
No, exactly, yeah.
So he doesn't look at Brighton in the same way that me and you do.
Yeah.
And even if he did, and if we were in his position and United are looking over and talking about £100 million in the summer, you are going to be some loyal person,
of course,
to not be interested in that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would be.
Yeah, you would be, because you see that amount of money being talked about. You see the amount of money that you're going to be getting, and you think, how could you not? It's not like he's got many loyalties to Brighton at all.
No. And you kind of look at that as well. Like, it's not just that. It's you've gone from being this unknown. not unknown. It was known, but he wasn't like a Caicedo name or
definitely.
Even Basuma name. I think Basuma's name's bigger than Balaba's was this summer. And before that, he's kind of a relatively unknown quantity. And all of a sudden, everyone's looking at you. Your name's on Sky Sports every 10 minutes. Fabrizio's tweeted about you 18 times in the last hour. And you're kind of thinking, oh my God, I'm like world famous now.
Yeah.
All Man United fans want me. I'm getting like hundreds of thousands of new followers on Instagram.
Exactly.
And he's checking his phone thinking, what's going on? He's only 20.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a bit mad. It's going to be overwhelming for you. So I do actually have a bit of empathy for him in that respect.
You've got to feel for him because, a young man a young player who's grown up, will want to be playing for the big clubs. Arguably, we're not a big club.
No.
We can be, but when you look at big clubs, you think of Man United, you think of Real Madrid, you think of all them teams. And when you've got, teams looking at you like that, you're going to want to go. So we can't blame him for wanting to go at all. I'd have been happy for him to go if we're getting the amount of money for him.
I think in the stage of the summer it was. I think they were right to hold on.
That was the stage, yeah.
Because I think it was a couple of days before deadline day. It would have required something a bit mad for us to sign anybody on his 100%. Level.
Yeah.
But maybe in hindsight, that's maybe the pulling power we don't have, or maybe we thought we did. Maybe it's a bit of an illusion perhaps going into the season that might not have been quite as true.
Yeah.
I think when we looked at the beginning of the year, when we look at that January transfer window, I think I had a lot more confidence in signing players. Like even with players like Cashin and Gomez, I thought, maybe they could be fine. Maybe just through this sort of false lens of looking through past signings, forgetting that most of those coaches and staff and recruitment staff are gone now.
Yeah, definitely.
The biggest one, as I think Owen mentioned on Twitter yesterday, is Sam Jewell. I think he's been the biggest departure of all of it. He's so highly regarded at the club, and I think we've definitely noticed a drop off in the incomings. And I think, you're right to mention both transfer windows. I think we've definitely suffered. It's fair to say, and I would actually just put that onto January is only now a few days away.
Yeah, not long.
Which is mad. But in January transfer window, what do you think needs to happen? Do you think it will even make a big change? Because I said last time that even if we do go and buy a striker and a right back and whoever else, is it necessarily going to be the absolute fix based on how things are going at the moment?
I don't know. It's, when you're going into games against top of the league who will arguably win the league, Arsenal, you've got to be starting a striker. And at the moment, when we've got just a Danny Welbeck, really, at the moment, because Simas is probably out for the season now, I'd say. Maybe April he's coming back.
I'd be surprised if he's back.
Yeah. You're going to need a striker. You're going to need someone who can be up there, even if he's, second to Danny Welbeck. But we're going to need someone up there because Jorginho isn't a 10. Jorginho isn't a 9, sorry, he's a 10.
No, he's clearly not.
You can't be playing him in the 9 because there was, what was it? I think it was last week against Sunderland. There was one chance where we had it on the right-hand side, crossed the ball in, but Jorginho is hanging on the outside of the box.
Yeah.
Because he's not a 9.
It's not a natural position for him.
Exactly, it's not a natural position. So I think, realistically, we need to get a striker in. I see people on Twitter can say, but we've got players who can play in that position. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you can, play in that position. They're not going to be very good in the position, so we're going to need someone to play there. That's what I think.
No, I'm totally with you. With you. I think January's it's going to be a big one for us. Like I mentioned Georgie because you did. He's been poor this season. If I'm honest, I think I've been quite underwhelmed. I don't want to dig him out because I think he's a good character. I think he's a good guy. Like I think he is a good player. We saw it last season, but I feel for him a little bit in the sense of clearly missing a striker. He's clearly missing someone that contributed towards the 20 goals last season. Yeah. And that's kind of where he's got this, I don't know if he maybe is lacking confidence as well. Mm-hmm. He kind of looks inferior to the Jorginho of last season, which would, and the biggest thing that if I think of him, I think of someone that's going to collect the ball, use that sort of powerful stride that he's got, and he gets through 2 or 3 players quite quickly. Yeah. And that's really where Georgie is. And then where's that ball out? Well, you're going to put it to Kuiper. He hasn't really got the technical ability to carry that much further. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to give it to Minte, but there's 3 mid defenders already on him.
That's a problem,
And you're thinking, well, do I blame him for that sense? No. Mm-hmm. Then you're looking back through his performances have been poor as well. On the ball, he's been pretty weak. I think he's given away a couple of goals. He scored the own goal the other day as well.
Yep.
he has been quite bad, and probably in his own admission, if he was sat next to me right now, after we finished opening Pokemon cards, we'd probably both say, yeah, it's not been a great season so far.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do.
And in the January transfer window, I think it has to be a striker. I don't get the right back thing, and this is something that I wanted to mention to you because it includes into the year review over the usage of Matt Sweefer at right back. Yeah. And just to add on, by the way, not just him now, Ferdy Kadioglu. On what planet is Joel Veltman not okay to play right back every week? Unless he's injured.
Yeah, it must be a fitness issue because
has to be.
How you can't, play someone there, I don't get it. I really do not understand it because you can play Weefer there. For some reason, he's shoehorning him in at right back. I don't get it. We need a powerhouse midfielder. We need one. That midfield is way too weak on Saturday because Hinchwood and Niari are very good players, but you need someone alongside one of them who's going to be strong, who's going to be winning tackles, like the Belieber of last season. Obviously, he's not hit the heights of it this season, but it's that sort of player we need. We've signed Weefer as a centre mid. Why not play him there? I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, especially as he's meant to be the sort of ball-playing midfielder, the carrier, the tackler. He can play as a bit of a deep line, and he can also be this sort of anchor for you as well. Yeah. He can carry that ball forward, and that's what we kind of need. I agree. I think I actually have been really impressed with the Yaris 2025.
Very impressed with him.
I think as a 22-year-old midfielder, especially in the Premier League, he's just a very good one.
Very good.
He's done really well. I think on the ball he's good. I think the only big issue he's got is his sort of physicality is significantly weaker than sort of you need to be.
Yeah.
And I think that we've suffered with that a lot. There's times where he'll either lose the ball or give it away. And then what's he got to run at? Well, you've got Hinchwood. With, again, no disrespect to Hinchwood, but he's a similar sort of player.
They're very similar. I just think if you're going to play, I don't think you can play them both together. That's what I think because they're very similar.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'd say.
You've got one that's like a technical ability sort of player that you can use to spread passes or make something happen. I mean, Ayari probably would be saying he needs to be working on his shooting after the other day.
Yeah.
But we have seen him score some good goals. So I won't hold that against him. But again, that's probably a bit down to confidence, you'd say.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
And this is kind of where my frustrations lie with the manager. Is I kind of look at players like Ayari, players like Matt Sweefer, players like Jorginho. Where I look at these players, they could be good, but they're clearly lacking a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
And whose job is it to put confidence into a player?
The manager.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I think, I feel like that bit's a bit self-explanatory. And I'll ask you this, based on this year so far, and the squads we've had in both this season, last season, would you look at the players and say they have come on exceptionally well? And if there is any, who are they?
What, from January to
now, is there any sort of players that have just gone from sort of nothing to something, or players that have come on exceptionally more than they were before?
So you've got to start with Verbruggen because I remember the game against Chelsea at the start of the year where Palmer's put it across the box and he put it in his own net. That was one of the starts of the year where you think maybe this year won't be for us. You've got stuff like that. We wanted a cup run. To be fair, we had a good cup run. Then losing to Forest in March, but Verbruggen, I think, has come on exceptionally well. We spoke about it earlier, but I just think I can rely on him. Do you know what I mean? I could definitely can, especially after the penalty save as well.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever saved a penalty for us.
I don't think anyone's ever saved a penalty for us. I remember. Was it Matty Ryan or something?
Matty Ryan at Everton. I remember that one.
Stoke.
Yeah, and that one. Yeah, wow. He's made a few, to be fair.
It's surprising for a guy of his size.
Very, yeah. So I'd say Verbruggen. I'd say you could even say Kadioglu, even though he didn't play at the start of the year. He's basically been a new signing for us, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. I really liked him. I know we mentioned his name earlier. He didn't really go into depth, but I think when you compare Ferdy to sort of the name of Ferdy from the beginning of the year, we kind of wrote him off as a player.
We did, yeah.
We kind of just thought, who's this guy?
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. He come in as a new signing, basically. So it's good to have him. I got to mention Van Heck, to be fair. I know he was unbelievable at the start of the season anyway, but I just think he's been incredible again this year.
Do you?
Chelsea was another,
I suppose he has been good. I still kind of, I don't want to be horrible to him, but I just feel like maybe he slightly regressed in terms of him, maybe. I just feel like he was really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's just not quite that good at the minute. It could be a system thing as well.
I feel like it is. I feel like he does a lot better when the team's doing a lot better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess he thrives as well, like being the trusted sort of ball player. They're playing quite high lines recently as well again.
Yeah.
So it kind of exposes particularly Dunk. We saw it. Was it against Liverpool with Ekitike's turn of pace?
Yeah.
Was painful sometimes. And those decisions again, like we mentioned that as a issue way when Hertz first came in. But again, naivety going to Anfield and putting them as a high line against players like Ekitike. You're thinking Ekitike is probably one of the best athletic players I've seen for a long time live in the eyes. And I thought he was fantastic against us. And I thought because we gave him so much opportunity.
That's the thing. You can't really give players like that too much opportunity to do something because they'll hurt us. And he scored twice. So
I forgot he got a brace.
I know.
That's actually quite poetic because I forgot about that. But again, like that's kind of the point, really. It's like I feel like that's kind of obvious. I feel like it's not like rocket science to say Ekitike is faster than Lewis Dunk, and he's also faster than JP. Yeah. So if we let Ekitike have a little bit more room,
what's he gonna do?
Yeah,
yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a bit obvious, but I don't know. That's just me.
I definitely see what you mean.
I'm not saying I'm a football manager.
No,
but there's just sometimes
it's always good to, you can always look at it and think, oh, why is he not starting him? Why is he not starting him? Said it on Saturday. I look at that team and I think, why is he not starting a striker? You just look at it and you think, I don't understand what he was doing.
Yeah.
Even the Liverpool game, you look at the team and you just think, what is he doing? I just don't understand the subs as well.
Yeah,
that was another thing I was going to say.
You mentioned the subs.
I don't get the subs because there's some games where I want to speak on Milner a little.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm a big fan of Milner, but do you think that he's bringing Milner on just for his appearances? I did want to mention this.
There's one game recently where I thought he'd know.
The Liverpool one.
No, the home game against the recent one. Who's the last home game?
Sunderland.
That was it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the ball was going through him quite a lot.
Yeah.
And he was spraying passes.
Yeah.
And actually I thought,
it's good.
okay, he's actually done well there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't dislike Milner, but sometimes I kind of think he's not what you need in that situation.
Yeah.
And that's kind of probably what I'd say. He's not what we need in the situations. He's helpful if you're 1 or 2 goals up, maybe.
Yeah, you're correct.
Maybe you could say that if you've got players like Baleba already on the pitch.
Yeah. But he's not always on the pitch.
No,
it's
when we swap the two over.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of thinking, right, now we've got Milner and Ayari or Milner and Hinch. And I'm thinking, I mean, again, I'm not saying that I'm a football manager, but when you come up against a team like Liverpool, for example, and you've got players like Bukayo Saka at Arsenal, you're thinking, I wonder who could possibly win that foot race.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be Milner.
No.
That's not a discredit to him.
Yeah,
it's just kind of physics, really.
Yeah.
So I think there's sometimes I look at that and I'm like, well, that makes no sense. But other times I do kind of get it, like experience. But I don't know. I don't agree with it.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. Definitely see what you mean. I'm unsure on some of his subs sometimes. And I think a lot of people also have the same, opinion as you can. I don't really remember the subs on Saturday.
I'll tell you what, the half-time were okay. He took the Kuiper off.
Oh, I do remember that now, yeah.
The Kuiper needed to come off. That was horrendous viewing. Sorry, Maxim.
Can't say I've even watched it, to be honest.
He's in the pub. No, he's in the bar.
I was drinking,
Maxim's first half was, eye-opening. Yeah. I remember when we got warned about his defensive capabilities, and we got to say about Pascagli, and I think that both of them have kind of just exposed themselves from it now. I feel like they could become like kind of, I don't know, just players that you kind of forget to play for us.
I feel for Pascagli because I feel like he did okay at Sunderland at home. He's got the clean sheet.
Second half.
Thought him and Coppola were, a good little duo together. And then, obviously, Dunk comes back in, Van Heck comes back in, you're going to start them both. But I just kind of felt bad for him because I see a lot of people say that, he's not great, he's not up to speed with the Premier League, but I don't think he looked bad at all. I thought he looked, he looks like a leader, which is what I like about him. And I feel like he can be that sort of player. But people really aren't keen on him. Even around me watching the games, they're not keen on him.
I'll be honest, I'm one of them.
Really?
And I don't know, you could be right, I could be right, I don't know. Yeah. I think I felt a bit unsure with him on the ball, which was surprising me.
Yeah.
Second half, he was better. I think first half was a bit shaky. I think he constantly kind of went a bit too high. He was the one to step up at times, then kind of miss the ball or play the wrong pass and then get caught out.
Yeah.
That could be a confidence thing.
Could be.
When I say it out loud, but there was times I thought, my God, he's let that bounce again or something like that. I think the ball bounced at least twice that I can remember in situations where it should never have bounced.
Yeah.
And I thought, you shouldn't be. That's one of the sort of, you play football at a better level than me. You don't let the ball bounce in them situations.
You can't let the ball bounce. It goes over you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, well, it happened to Dunk as well against
yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
And these are all quite recent games here.
They are, yeah.
And again, it's just kind of like very simple, naive sort of things like that. Again, I said it so many times, the word confidence, that could be a confidence issue in players. But there's a lot of basics that get wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that Boskagli was a culprit to that in the last couple of games. So again, I do agree he got better in the second half.
Yeah. That's what I was going to touch on, really.
And De Kuyper was worrying in that first half against Arsenal, and that sub was actually all right. But yeah, on the most part, the 85th minute bringing on Kostulas, what's the point? What is he going to do?
Because that's one of the main problems I have is you can tell he's got the quality. You really can tell he's got the quality. And you've probably seen one of my tweets before. He really reminds me of João Pedro.
I get what you mean.
Because I think it's just the way he can move with the ball. There was a game, I think it was Man United away when he scored the header. He had little bits on the ball where you think he really does remind me of Pedro. And I'm not going to say that's why he's not playing him, because he might remind me of Pedro, but I think he's
like
definitely got the quality
in the Brighton world.
Yeah, he's definitely got the quality, and I think it's a disservice not using him to the best of his ability, because he's maybe young. People are like, oh yeah, he's spending a lot of money on a player like that, but if you're going to spend the money, you might as well use him.
Yeah, no, I do. I get that as well. I think the frustration from my end on the 30 million on Kostulas is when I look at how much, say for example, Villa played for Morgan Rogers. I think it's the same amount of money.
Ridiculous.
There's a lot of 30 million signings that are. I mean, Shirky's 30 million. No?
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of players that are considered. João Pedro for us was 30 million. He's come up a lot in this podcast.
Yeah.
But, I get what you mean. He's a similar sort of player. But I don't know if he's on the level.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be on the level, yet. But if you're going to sign him for that amount of money, then surely he's got to be playing. Is what I think. I don't even know what his main position is anymore.
No.
Well, I thought he was a 9, and then he hasn't played there.
Yeah, I know. I've hardly seen him enough. Yeah. I mean, I watched the videos of him when we first got linked with him. I think I saw a mini Julio, and then when I saw him in real life for Brighton, I saw a taller, kind of lankier player, and I thought, that's not what I saw online. So then I was a bit confused as to what sort of player he is.
Yeah,
I do agree. He kind of looked like a striker when he came against United. The way he finished that header was actually a good goal.
Beauty of a header.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, it's all. Again, it comes down to using players right. And I think that's we've gone over a lot of months here and a lot of different players here, and it seems to be quite a common theme. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with this podcast: is not be reactionary. Go back across every single game, the highs and the lows, and see what sticks out from each game, and then what we could possibly think is the common denominator. Because that is a way of answering to reactionary statements and certain fans that still flood my Twitter mentions.
It's all about opinions, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all about opinions, but don't change them when you either see them in real life or go into DMs.
Yeah.
Stick with it. Anyway, so I think overall, what we've said is confidence.
Confidence is the main one, I think.
Tactical naivety. Good moments.
Yeah, we've had a few of them. Yeah.
Individual quality. Am I missing anything?
Don't think so.
Bad transfers.
Yeah, that was the one. That's the other one.
So I think overall, that is a pretty good reflection of 2025. I mean, probably you'd look at more negatives than positives in them 5 things.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and scramble for positives. Is there any others?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Let's think. I mean, midway through the year, what happened in May? We beat Tottenham. The games were pretty done.
To be fair, May was a
good month for us.
To be fair, end of April, start of May, end of May, we had a good end to the season. We lost to Brentford. That one a great game to be at. I don't know if you were there.
I was there,
yeah, horrible.
I had someone in front of me have a go at me for saying that it was bad, and I think he said just start supporting the team, and he started proving his point by singing "Sussex by the Sea" on his own while staring at us.
Nice one.
And I was kind of thinking, yep, that was cool.
Yeah, nice one.
So that was really weird.
Yeah.
And then I think we ended up chipping 2 more goals after that, and I was like,
Yeah, because
there
we
we go.
went 2-0 down early, and you think, here we go again. Then we went 2-1, and you think maybe it's the same story though. We always go maybe 2-0 down, 1-0 down, then we start turning it up, and then I think we lost 3-1 in the end.
was it 3?
I think so.
Yeah.
What I remember.
For some reason, my head said 4, but you could be right.
Oh, it could be 4. Definitely could be 4.
To be honest, that whole like kind of era was a little bit blurred. But what I can say is that mid-season point, the mid-year point, should I say? Sorry.
Yeah.
I remember we were going for Conference League.
Yeah.
And then we actually finished in the Conference League spots, but then Palace snatched it off us.
What are the
That's why
chances?
May was sticking that in my mind.
Yeah. What are the chances?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good end to the season, to be fair, but
Yeah.
we just relying on other results earlier on in the season when
Yeah.
we really should have been.
Yeah, that was it. Because I got to a point of acceptance of kind of thinking, I don't want to start believing in anything because it's not in our control anymore. So we can't.
I was believing. I genuinely was.
I remember you were positive.
We were a few points off, and I thought, here we go. And then we start winning games because we beat West Ham, then we beat Wolves, then we beat Liverpool, and then Tottenham. So we'd won 4 in a row there, and you think maybe we'd have a chance. But if we don't drop points in that last season, we could be in Europe right now.
No, it's
the only
true.
problem.
It's true. We did get a lot of points there. I think that there's a positive for you.
Yeah.
It's a shame we didn't really start the season in the same way we ended it, to be honest.
Yeah.
That August start with that Everton humbler.
We normally
brand new
start
stadium.
seasons really well, don't we? Normally start, last year when we beat Everton, we started, what was it, 3-0 I think it was?
Yeah.
Beat Man United, we drew to Arsenal. So we normally start well, but this year we just didn't really start too well.
Were you at Everton?
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Wish
Did I
I
see
wasn't.
you there?
Yeah, you're right next
Did
to
I?
me. You're right next to me,
I
yeah.
can't remember it. I see you at every single
you see me
game.
all the time, mate. Normally
So
I'm the one who
weird.
forgets about seeing you, but
Yeah. Well, it was. I can't remember that for some reason. I remember filming outside the ground first, and I think I was going to get you on.
You were, yeah, because then
I was
I
gonna
went
get you
in and
on.
I was like, hang on a minute, I can't get out of here.
Yeah.
Because it was a bit of a maze,
Yeah, you were
wasn't it?
stuck.
Yeah, I was stuck in.
It was quite a cool ground, to be fair. But yeah,
It is,
the
it was
result
good.
was probably a reflection of the actual game. It was not great.
Definitely, yeah. What was it? 2 open goals that we missed, basically.
Yeah. Welbeck had a howler, didn't he? Missed a penalty as well.
Absolute stinker.
Yeah.
Happens.
Welbeck's actually my pick of 2025. In fact, let's do a player pick of 2025 before we wrap up. This is the end of the podcast. Player pick. Who's been your 2025 player of the season, player of the year?
Oh, God. Try not to say number 51.
Do it.
Joking. I'd probably say Van Heck.
Nice.
That's probably mine. I'd say
Yeah.
Mr. Reliable.
Yeah. Fair.
You?
I give it to Welbeck.
Yeah. I can't. To be fair, I'd say he's in my top 3, Welbeck. But
Just trying to think of who's been better. I mean, there's been a lot of good performers, but I feel like what he's done for us this year, he's
definitely,
come
yeah.
on into a much better player than he started
actually,
the
he's
year
at his age as well.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Still doing it at that
He's
age.
gotten better
Definitely,
this year.
yeah. Definitely better.
So I'll give it to Welbeck. Welbeck's been my player of the year.
Yeah, I'll go Van Heck then.
Van Hicker. There you are. Not bad. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Have we covered everything?
I think so.
Yeah. Any other mentions?
Best moment of the season? Or best moment of the year? We mentioned that one yet?
I
think we mentioned worst.
I think we went
mentioned
Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
Twice in a week.
Ah, beautiful.
I might go with Chelsea away again this season.
3-1.
The City game
At
when
home.
Gruder scored
Oh,
last minute. That was
That's
great.
definitely up there.
I would say the O'Reilly one, but I missed that game. Or was that actually it was last year?
Was the O'Reilly,
technically?
the Man City
Yeah, it
O'Reilly
was
one. That was last
wasn't
year,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, so I can't say that one anyway. I think those ones are pretty good.
Yeah, very good, to be fair. I'd probably say the double over Chelsea, my best moment.
It sticks out.
It's Chelsea, isn't it? It always
Yeah.
sticks out. As soon as you beat them, it
To be
sticks
fair,
out.
Newcastle away.
I wasn't at the cup game.
I didn't go to the cup game either.
Right, that's all right then.
But I went to the league game and that was great.
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite away
That league
days.
game was up
I know
there.
that's technically 2024 again, but that was class.
Oh, well.
I love that away game. That was
count
great.
it.
Yeah, that was one of the best ones. So just the vibes of class. Anyway, thank you for joining me, mate.
It's all right, mate.
Absolute legend.
Well enjoyed it.
Happy New Year.
And you.
By the time it comes out, it'll be Happy New Year.
It will be. won't it?
We'll definitely get you on again as well.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell us all your favourite stuff as well if you got this far. I'd be surprised if you did. What are we at now? Like 50 minutes. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good Christmas. And that's everything. Up the Albion and goodbye. Thank you.